faster than the speed of sound. At an early age you wanted to get out, to pursue adventures all around. Things got tough sometimes, but it's all good, cause Tails is his best friend. He's always there for him, he's his sidekick. Through bad and good times over and over again. What to see is what to get. Just a guy that loves adventures. It's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the IDW Sonic Rundown. And folks, it's December as the time we're recording, our last show for the year, and I think we've got a nice send-off for IDW this year, because the two comics we've got issue 67 and the Winter Jam. 67 we expected was going to be a little bit meaty, but there is some stuff to talk about with the Winter Jam. I was pleasantly surprised with it.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised by how much I enjoyed the Winter Jam comic. It definitely feels like they had a really solid idea and then they actually developed it. The problem with some of these offshoot and like holiday special comics is that they don't really fall into anything like, oh, they don't really have an idea or a way to sort of thread the needle. But this one, they feel like they had a concept and they kind of nailed it. It was great.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of like a little newish territory for Sonic, like narrative-wise. It was very welcoming. But
yeah,
let's get into it with issue 67, Ian Flynn writing and Aaron Hammerstrom on art.
So we open as our very first panel sees Sonic walking into the Resistance with the chili dog. Oh, hey, Amy. Surge?
Vine boom sound effect in his head.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, and Kit, I have so many questions. Me too. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, and Surge is out here just saying, Sonic, just chill. I'm out here just chilling with your bestie, obviously. She was telling me about this crazy story about a forest fire.
Oh, they're here to fuck people up. Oh, this is not going to end well.
No, it's not. And then so Sonic just kind of leans into Amy just like, hey, you know who this is, right? And she says, yeah, I do, but they did come into the HQ peacefully. She and Kit are both looking to turn their lives around.
Okay, so this is where it gets good. Surge then says, after all, you said I could. You made it sound so simple. A reminder of the panel between Sonic and Surge is shown. So I'm willing to chalk this up to a rocky start and let us have a do-over, if you will. Just like that, just like that. Oh yes, I can tell that they're cooking now. Okay, this is some good stuff we have going on here.
Yeah, we're off to a very strong start, and Surge kind of ribs with Kit saying, oh, you know, the last fight that we had, yeah, it kind of ended in a close call. Which, you know, that's not what I would call being buried alive, but go off, queen, you know?
Also important to note is that Surge is sipping on her drink. And there is a very specific moment where she kind of side-eye, meaning she's thinking a little. Sonic says in the flashback where she's being buried alive, basically about to be buried alive, freedom is right there just waiting for you. Just take it. And she says she can't. Okay, like I said, now we're getting interesting. All right, okay, what's going on here? We're starting to build some momentum here, you know?
Yeah, and Sonic asks, well, okay, just like that? Pause. Flashback. At the former Starline base Sigma, Surge and Kit on their beds and they're on their last rations. Kit reminds Surge, we don't have any running power, all perishables have gone rotten, and there's really not much to forage beyond the walls. And Surge is like, yeah, I'm not living off berries and roots, we're getting out of here. But Kit just asks, okay, well, where? Eggman knows about us, the bases are on high alert, and we don't exactly belong in polite society, and this place is kind of falling around us. I know all that, you're the smart one, you figure it out. Kit kind of mutters to himself that he's trying, but They feel a rumble on the ground and come to believe they're being invaded. So Surge and Kit rush out thinking Eggman came back for them. Surge says she's gonna tear off Eggman's mustache and make him eat it. Okay, Queen, go off.
Okay, go off. Surge and Kit see some huge Eggman tech, to which Surge asks Kit to tear him down. They start bashing. Surge then runs over to a bunch of smaller badniks before Rough and Tumble appear, messing with our tech, then get ready to scuffle. These bots are protected by, and they can't even finish because Surge just completely beats the shit out of them. Surge then decides to say, "What do you say, boys? Should I make your tails match?" And they're freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, they're begging for mercy. And also, I want to look at Kit for a second, because this is very constant with him, but here especially, it's shown very prevalently. He moves around like a ghost, like always muttering around in the shadows. Since his eyes can glow, it does accentuate that. And he just kind of whispers to them saying, "No mercy" for Eggman's goons. He's very spooky. I like they're leaning into that.
Yeah, I do. I like the fact that the ethereal sort of nature of him is like being played up. It's a cool little visual touch.
I do kind of wish that, maybe in the future, here's a little idea. In the future, expand on Kit's powers, make him turn into mist.
Oh, that'd be based. That'd be so based.
A little note, little suggestion. Tumble screams, "Oh, look, we're not working for Eggman anymore." To which Surge begs the question, "What's with all the Eggman tech then?" And well, behind the crowd comes their guy, Clutch. "They all belong to me."
And the fools you've trounced. "Hold the mooks," says Surge. "My apologies for the intrusion. I had assumed the late Dr. Starline's base was no longer occupied. You knew that, sack of trash?" "I did indeed. I deal in all manner of scrap and robot refuse. Dr. Starline was a frequent client of mine for all sorts of resources." "Wait a minute, you mean I know who you are, Miss Surge? I know what you are. I know a great many things, such as you don't mind getting your hands dirty and that you have no love for Sonic the Hedgehog or his friends. Perhaps we can do business, Okay, this was a curveball I was not expecting. I knew that Clutch was in some fashion going to show up and they were going to work with Surge, right? Because it was very obvious when the preview panel was like, oh, they're here to fuck with them. Like, this is very obviously happening, right? But the fact that Clutch knows who Surge and Kit actually were before Starline and most likely assisted in getting them kidnapped. Okay, now we're sort of cooking here.
Now, here's my question. This is going to be the thread that I want the listeners to have in their mind as the comics come out. As far as Clutch goes, we can tell that he does know who they are. He's not lying about that. How long do you think he's going to be able to hold this over their heads, though? Because he already sees them as assets, and he's not going to let go of assets willingly.
Probably until the deed is done. But, we will see, I think. I think what will happen is that they'll think they've won, so Clutch will willingly reveal the information under that pretense, right? But then Surge and Kit will snap.
Oh, yeah. So, Clutch has failed to introduce himself at this point. He says, hold on. I publicly run Clean Sweep Incorporated. We clear out areas invaded by Dr. Eggman, then sell the material back to him, or whomever needs the most questionable technology available. So that leads Surge to ask, where do I come in? Well, Sonic's friends do the same work as I do, but legitimately. Bad for business. I'm in the middle of a hostile takeover. Help me further my plans to steal the restoration, and I'll tell you everything I know about you and your young companion.
Okay, so I just have to say, this is actually some cool world building. The fact that whenever Eggman is essentially discarded and disposed of, it gets sold back to him by Clutch, which allows him to make a profit, is cool. The fact that he's also using the Resistance as looking at it from a business perspective is also cool. That makes him a little bit little less oh, I'm just a gangster, and no, legitimate mafia type beat. He's performing a literal hostile takeover. This is good stuff. I'm really fucking with this. I really like it.
Oh, no, yeah. This is a shakeup that the comic needed. We'll get into it a little bit later, but I am very, very welcome with this change in direction. Next, Surge, no hesitation, shakes his hand, deal accepted. Kit just asks, well, okay, but what now? Are we just gonna walk into the front door? Surge says, yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
And then we cut back to the present. Yeah? Just like that? Yeah. Just like that. Cool, glad you came around. And they're looking at each other like, no big deal, nothing to worry about. Sonic pulls Amy's chair out. Let me and Amy give you a grand tour of the place, as they mutter under their breath. To keep an eye on them? Oh, you betcha. They know something's up. They fucking know something's up.
Oh, yeah. Well, Amy takes the lead. Well, you've seen the mall and all we've got to offer for the staff and the people passing through, and takes them to the back in the supply depot. In the background, we see Sonic kind of running around the warehouse and just being a general nuisance to the workers. Surge just looks around and says, is all this stuff for you guys? And Amy says, oh no, it's here to organize and ship out around the world to those that need it. Right on cue, Silver and Blaze show up, coming back from their world tour. Silver's carrying a crate over his head saying, oh yeah, this big box is about to be sent out to Missouri. From what me and Blaze saw, they were really suffering from poor crops this season. So we got a shipment together and we're going to go deliver it to them.
Oh, okay. All right, well, here comes the real interesting part. Blaze asks who your new friend is, and Sonic's like, hey, this is Surge. She tried to destroy me a couple of times. Honestly, Sonic, you need to stop making friends like that.
Yeah, and even Surge asks, like, hold up, is this really a habit of his? And then, little flashback, Blaze thinks back to actually the events of Sonic Rush. He says, yeah, no, me and him were kind of at each other's throats. Now, I see this panel, and the only thing I can think of is have a nice fall, you stupid bitch.
That's so fucked up. Holy shit. Well, I'm sorry. I see this panel, and I think of great music, but then I also think of, oh god, my thumbs, oh god, my thumbs. Why is this mashing so bad? Why is this mashing so bad? Yeah, the end of the end of that fight has one of the worst mashes I've ever done in a video game. I fucking hate that shit. I don't understand why they... Oh, Jesus. Okay, whatever. Sonic remarks that he remembers that and that him and Silver had his moments of friction too. Amy then replies talking about how they've got stories about him throwing down with Knuckles and Shadow for days. To which Surge then asks, have any of your friends not tried to waste you? Look, once you get to know me, I'm very likable.
And you know what? I'm going to be real with you guys. I know this kind of like discussion with Sonic's character in IDW has been like a point of contention as of lately. But honestly, reading this and having it laid out in front of you directly is like, okay, now I see why he's like this. He has history. There's a track record.
There is a track record, and what is being, but again, there is a specific reason that this is being shown. And that this is being explained. We're going to cover in the recap for the episode, because I do have a lot to say on this.
So Surge quips, well, since I fought him, does that make me an honorary restoration mook like you guys? But he says, oh no, we're not affiliated with the movement. Silver adds that, we're just here to lend a hand, really. Amy tells her that the restoration is a volunteer movement. Everyone here can come and go as they please. If this place doesn't suit you, you can leave at any time. And Surge goes, oh, what, you trying to get rid of me already? But Amy says, no. This is all your choice. No one here will force you to do anything you don't want to do. Surge, very briefly, very quickly, kind of refrains herself for a second and is like, you really mean that, huh?
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. We've seen it twice now with the flashback of Surge thinking about her freedom, and now the idea of the restoration being a place where no one will force you to do anything because it's all volunteers. It's like the idea is in her brain. Like she's starting to think about it. She's like, maybe this could be a path for me. This is good because it shows that they're setting something up with this. And I like this. I like this a lot.
Oh, yes. Brief moment shattered because Silver moves the box over Sonic's head. Is like, hey, think fast. Sonic says, oh, you can't hit the broadside of this hedgehog. And obviously in the back, we got a worker pissing themselves over this clear OSHA violation. What the fuck, man? They move to the tour in the mechanic shop. This is where we maintain the vehicles and the supply depot for the search and rescue crafts. Surge has had enough of gadgets for the time being. Tech is more Kit's thing, though. Maybe you can hang out here and show Tails how it's done. Big laugh. Big laughs all around. And, right behind them is Groovy. He's offering his hand, telling them, another gearhead's always welcome here. But Kit doesn't shake his hand. He just kind of glares daggers at him and is and Groovy's just okay, okay. Anyway, Sonic then goes to Belle. She's finishing up Whisper's Wispon, and upon seeing Surge, freaks the fuck out. Why the fuck is she here?
To which Kit says, we're gonna get a lot of that here. To which Surge responds, good.
Sonic tells Belle they're here to start over. You sure? Dr. Starline made them. Yeah. Eggman also made General, and Omega, and me, she says. Guess you set a precedent. Interesting how that's come back.
It's cyclical! Continue.
Surge then sees the Wisp on. I thought I smashed that gizmo. You did! She's clutching it. I've been rebuilding it and fine-tuning ever since. In fact, it's actually done. I was about to deliver it to Whisper. Sonic goes, oh, perfect! Well, tag along, let's all make introductions. Amy's just like, hey, that's probably not the best idea, given the circumstances. But Surge cuts in and says, oh, listen, who are we to judge the great Sonic the Hedgehog's judgment? It's gonna be just fine. Arrested Development narrator. It does not go just fine. Hard cut to the Diamond Cutters. They're all glaring at Sonic's group. It's a very tense room right now, and Surge telling, hey, Big Shot, why don't you say something? Sonic cuts into the middle. Look. I know there's bad blood here, and for very good reason, but if we give them a chance, they'd be awesome in the Diamond Cutters. Amy then cuts, only if they want to join it. Well, I mean, why wouldn't they want to kick butt? Hey, yo, Surge says. They are in the room right now. They have opinions of their own. Sorry. Duo vouches for them. Well, I'm just a nobody, and they gave me a chance. I think having someone on par with Sonic and Tails will be a huge help. Lanolin obviously has concerns about this, but if they are here on the recommendations of former Commander Rose, I will not object. Lanolin, we've been through this.
Bro, I mean this very since I also think it's funny because she looks like fucking exhausted. Like, I've never seen somebody look so tired in my entire life. She looks like she's just cooked.
Yeah, considering all the shit that's been going on, makes sense. Tangle is on Sonic's side. I believe in him and his ideas. I'm willing to give him a chance. Whisper, hard no. Sonic's just like, well, hold on, let's talk about this. She says, no, you can choose to trust her. I don't, and I won't. That's where Surge goes, oh, fucking finally! She swipes the Wispron from Bell, points the butt of it to Whisper. You are the first person to have any sense around here. I can tell you want to fucking kill me right here, right now. I like you. Maybe I'll join your little club. You can aim that little wisp flinger at the back of my head all day if you want. Fine, but I will be watching. I don't blame you. I encourage you.
Holy shit.
Okay, folks.
Okay.
Let's say this is kind of peak. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there.
I think we're getting there. Yeah, no, this is some good shit. Again, we're gonna save it for the end because I feel like it's important to have the full context. If Surge joins, I'm joining too, says Kit. Surge says, yeah, we're a package deal. Later on, Surge, Amy, Kit, and Sonic are all just relaxing together. I gotta admit, this is a pretty impressive setup. It'd be a real shame if someone burned it to the ground. Yeah, a bigger shame is what'll happen to the idiot who tries that, as Sonic immediately glares almost like devilishly at Surge as she turns back around to avoid Sonic's aims. Yeah, well, it's not like you guys are here all the time. No, but the Diamond Cutters are here, and security has been tightened since the Deadly Six invaded. They'll be okay. Timely, however, as Duo appears and asks to get Surge and Kit settled into a place of their own via Lanolin.
They'll help them settle in, and Surge just kind of plays along. Yeah, tour's over anyway. They leave, and once away, Amy asks Sonic, are you for sure about this? And Sonic's just like, honestly, I'll be real with you, no, I don't. But honestly, meeting Mecha Sonic and the others showed me, I think everybody does deserve a second chance. Maybe even a third. Starline stole their lives from them, they deserve to have a chance to make a better one for themselves. And it's a very sweet moment, and even I saw on Twitter, Daniel Barnes was actually very touched to see Ian referencing his work, and very wholesome.
Beautiful.
So Sonic asks, what brought you back around here, Amy? And she says she wanted to see Jewel, but she's been really busy. They've recently made a deal with Clean Sweep Inc. that might ease the burden, though. They don't know what that is, for the record. They just know the name. Sonic then asks, okay, well, since you're free, wanna get dinner? Sure. And so, as they leave for a little date night, Duo has led Surge and Kit into their little studio apartment. Surge says, oh, well, I guess it'll do. Doesn't seem like there's any leaks or drafts or anything. And Duo says, I took the liberty of getting you guys a shared room. Seeing as you're codependent and all that. Whoa, Kitty's got claws after all. More than claws, and then fully reveals himself. Mimic the octopus. Infiltrator. Clutch told me to make contact with you once you've arrived. Surge just laughs. Oh, they have no idea, do they? None. Bold play with Whisper earlier. Also, Kit, Reel back with the glaring. You're happy here, remember? All right then, what's the plan? We keep up our acts for now. Play nice with the others, but not too nice. If they're keeping an eye on you, they aren't looking too hard at me. When Clutch is ready, he'll give the order, and we hit our targets when their guard is down. And he'll come in and take advantage of the chaos. We're out. Well, then Kit asks, does that mean Tails is a target? Oh yes, top priority, along with anyone else in your way. Now I like it here. And Surge says, yeah, I knew this was a good idea. The three then come together, hands in the center. Surge ends, looking forward to working with you. Duo. And that's the end of this issue. Folks, it's peak, I fear.
They're setting up for the breaking point. We are watching Sonic's ideals potentially crumble in front of him in real time, especially when it comes to the specifics of this and how it's going to affect everyone. Every single person around him. That's what makes this so interesting.
I can already see the lines being drawn here, you know. We have a lot of people on Sonic's side, even though Sonic right now, not even really solid in it. Amy's obviously on his side. Silver and Blaze are on his side. Tangle is especially said flat out on his side. Whisper is not, though. She is not on Sonic's side on this at all.
Yeah, and what's more important is that when you consider the fact that all of this is sort of just happening under the rug and that Sonic's ideals are literally being like before there was an examination, right? Like how does this like happen, right? And like Sonic's redemption and like wanting to see people be better, you know, it was put to the test with the Metal Virus saga and like, you know, that was like obviously very intensive. But now we're seeing that on another level where it is non-Eggman based. We are seeing that on a level where now we are talking about individuals. Dude, I don't know. I think this shit is so good. I think it's really interesting. I think that they're really honing in on Surge and Kit as catalysts to examine Sonic's ideology, and then watching the way it's being twisted against him almost it's crazy. It's really, really good shit.
Yeah, I remember back when we read the Zeddy Hunt arc and how I felt about there would have been a perfect opportunity to have converted the Deadly Six into like allies of Sonic, but not in the way Sonic thought of like, oh, they're free people, free agents. They act in a way as if they're like subservient to him as a warrior. And obviously Sonic would not want that. He want them to follow like their freedom and sense of purpose and all that. And obviously they can't do that in that direction because Sega won't allow them to do that. But here they have a much better opportunity to do so. You can especially see it with Surge. Already twice, we see moments of doubt being planted in her head of like, do I really want to do this?
Right, because she's starting to think about the fact that she's being given a choice about what she wants to do and not being told what she has to do. She's choosing, and she's making the effort, right? Which is interesting.
Yeah, I think the ultimate catalyst here of this arc, if this is what we're going to be seeing moving forward, somebody, or at least, it would be best if she came to this conclusion herself of like, okay, what if I do know who I am and where I come from? Will that change anything? She has to ask that question herself, is that, will that change anything?
Will it lead to something meaningful for me? Will knowing my past actually affect anything, right? Like, what will that change? Because so much has already happened in the short time I've been around.
This one issue, even though this is obviously a setup comic, there's so much going on here, perfect to digest, A+ issue. A+ issue.
Yeah, this is probably one of IDW's best in a really long time, which is great because fuck man, like I hate to say it, but it's been a little dry for a while, and that's okay because, you know, comics go through ups and downs, but the build-up, especially as we get there, with Clutch being interconnected to everything, is really good.
So we'll move on to our second issue, the IDW Winter Jam. This is the other like holiday special that the IDW has been doing this year. We have our writer is Isman Omar Atta and art by Min Ho Kim. So before we begin, I did a little research on Atta. So they're a very prolific graphic designer. They've done a lot of work in the art field, from comics, game development, illustrations, even VTubing as well. They're an animator for, I think, a good handful of independent VTubers out there as well. But their most recent published work is a graphic novel called Nyara and the Jinn. Now, I'm calling them out. I know a fucking shadow stand when I see one. I want you to look at the design of the Jin. It's shadow coded as fuck. We got black shadowy with red accents, and honestly, reading what I've read a little bit of it, it reads very much like a fanon interpretation of Shadow's character. I see you, Isman. I fucking see you.
Well, good to know that we have the story in good hands.
Oh, yes. So, let us begin. We open on one of Eggman's bases. He's at a command room, staring very intensely at his monitors. And according to Orbot and Cubot, he's been like this for like a good couple of days now. The boss must mean business this time. Orbot kind of starts to freak out a little bit, like, mean business? We see now Eggman has just been watching screens of like reality TV shows all this time. And if you look closely, you can see some stuff going on. One of them, the conductor and his wife from The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog are on like a cooking show. And there's like another show with Barry along with the Sonic Forces avatar on a different game show. There's a lot to look at here. Orbot says our work has been piling up because of all this. Eggman has been saying that this is all research for new ways to break Sonic and won't leave that chair until he's satisfied. And also, by the way, this is another fun moment. Orbot and Cubot, they're in a room with a chamber. There's Silver Sonic 2 from Adventure 1.
Oh, there he is. There he is, just sitting in storage. It's very funny.
And he's been there all this time.
Yep, all this time.
Anyway, Orbot notices a sketch on one of the walls. Are you thinking what I don't think. Ever. You know what I mean. I do. We then have the craziest transition I've ever seen from these sketches on the wall, like turning into little snowflakes, to the beach. We see Sonic chilling on a lounge chair. He's with Tails, Amy, Cream and Cheese, Big, Froggy, Rouge, and Omega. They're just all having a good time. They're enjoying the water and the sun. Sonic's just chilling out saying, oh man, there's nothing that could mess up this endless summer. Hard cut to a giant chopper badnik coming towards them. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. It jumps up and dives down and swallows them all successfully and jumps away with the group in tow. They can't really tell where they're going in the darkness, but end up being vomited out to a different locale. Sonic asks Tails, is there any idea where we are? In the background, Cubot turns on his announcer chip. Stage lights on. Cubot introduces the group to the hottest event of the wintry season, Orbot and Cubot's Winter Jam.
This was not the angle I thought this would go at all, but okay, I fuck with it. It's funny.
Yeah. A grand stage is center. We have badniks filling up the studio audience, and Orbot is about to present the prize for winning the game. To everybody's surprise, the Purple Chaos Emerald. This prize goes to the one who gives the strongest performance, so give it your all. So now group huddle. Sonic's like, okay guys, look, this is really shady, right? And Tails says, look, I think if we try, we can definitely find a way out of here. But Rouge is just like, hey, yo, like, why don't we just take the fucking Chaos Emerald? It's right there. Like, what the fuck, man? And Amy and Cream's just like, maybe we should just go along with it. Like, we were kind of fucking surrounded, man. Like, shit. But Omega, our boy, goes for the old reliable. Blast his way out and create an exit himself. And Orbot and Cubot think fast. Oh, well, bonus. As a bonus, we will reveal a brand new badnik ready to be destroyed by any vengeful robots. Exit protocol overridden.
as he thumbs up. Now, break into teams of 3. Hold on, wait, says Orbot. We couldn't get Shadow or Knuckles. Remember? 2 quick panels. Shadow is just completely overtaking Orbot and Cubot, just lording over them. I don't understand why Shadow is not with Rouge and Omega. Okay.
Because he has a stick in his ass, that's why.
And Knuckles completely and totally sends them flying off of Angel Island.
So, just go into teams of 2-ish. And so, the Winter Jam begins with our teams. Team Sonic, Sonic and Tails, the unbreakable bond of fast-running gold-hearted Hog and two-tailed Tech Talent. And Team Dark, comprised of Rouge and Omega, the gorgeous Gem Hunter and Brutal Bot, the duo brought together by a shadow, is now in the spotlight. Actually, very clever wordplay. Good job, Isman. Very, very proud of that.
Yeah, very, very cute. Very cute.
Team Rose, Amy, Cream, and Cheese. The trio of pastel pals is sure to warm your heart with this sweet style and grace. And finally, Team Big. Big and Froggy, big guy, little guy, and some inscrutable vibes to make for the friendship of all time.
Wow, what are these words, bro? This shit kind of good. They're kind of cooking.
And thus we begin the first game, Scene Jam. Create a chill holiday party vibe with your fellow cast members. Whoever makes the best contribution wins. So we first see Sonic and Tails stringing up some lights. Tails wants to make it all symmetrical by putting each light 4 units apart. Sonic's just like, nah, shut up, leave it to me. I can put together something better faster than the speed of math. So he starts to string the lights up in front of one shaped like his face, but accidentally trips in front of Big, and he thinks fast trying to catch him in the air with his reel, which leads Sonic, Big, and somehow Tails to all get tangled up in the lights. Well, that's a failure for both those teams. Let's see what the others are doing. Rouge is plotting with Omega to just get the Emerald and the Badnik Tap and just dip. So, Omega, distract him, I'll figure something out. We then move to Omega's point of view, and he's targeting wreaths, not too dissimilar from SA1 and 2's gun targeting system. Nice touch. Plus 1 point for that one.
Yeah, cute. As Cubot walks into frame, here's a surreal event for the reality genre. E123 Omega has created some kind of art piece for hypothetical partygoers' amusement. Target locked. Rouge flies up towards the Emerald as a massive explosion comes up behind her, forcing her to fall.
Yeah, she's partially buried in the ruined set. Now, Orbot just says, let's move on to the last team. Team Rose is making a various bunch of food spreads. And actually, another nice touch, all of those foods can be found in the Sonic cookbook that was released this year. This is very self-referential from this book so far.
Yeah, I don't know why there's so many self-references, but I guess it's because it's kind of like a one-off thing. They're like, oh, we can have some fun with it.
Oh yeah, Orbot and Cubot love what they're looking at. One exception though, there is this large gelatinous serving with just random vegetables thrown in there. And Amy just says, yeah, that was Cream's specialty. And Cream says, well, my mom taught me to use all the ingredients we've got. So, fruit peels, vegetable stalks, and everything in between to make a full-course jelly cake. And Amy assures that it's great. And she says to Cubot it's very environmentally friendly. Yeah. Cubot says, okay, Team Rose winner, even by default. But it's really great. Great job. We then cut to our interview section. Sonic says the slip-up was, maybe it was on me, but Tails says, no, Sonic, you just do your own thing your own way. We'll get him next time. Rouge chastises herself for letting Omega work on a crafting challenge. Affirmative. Suboptimal judgment executed. Hey, you went along with it. Affirmative. Suboptimal judgment executed.
That's so great.
Cream, very proud of her creation and wants to make a full meal for everyone next time as Cheese affirms her. Amy says, yeah, definitely. You can do that next time. Big says the most important thing is that we had fun. Right, Froggy? Froggy does not respond. Next challenge, the Snowball Jam. Get an Eggman doll to the finish line while dodging snowballs from the other teams. The Eggman dolls are obviously stylized much like the Tails doll, of course.
Sonic even comments on this saying they're creepy. Cute.
The other teams begin to run into the maze and Amy is ready to protect Cream and their doll. Omega, with murderous intent, creates a snowball arsenal and fires on Amy and Cream, and they have no chance for survival. Their doll is hit, decimated, they're out. Sonic takes his doll and does have the supersonic speed to dodge the snowballs effortlessly, but the doll, very poorly constructed, cannot handle the force of speed and crumbles in Sonic's hand. His super speed has betrayed him, and Sonic has been reduced to a mere husk of a hedgehog. That's actually what was said in the comic. What's going on here?
Yeah, what the fuck? Utterly demoralized, it looks like Team Big has succinctly surrendered, giving the Deft Duo an easy win. We cut to interviews, and Sonic is having an existential crisis.
Yeah, he's like about to have a breakdown. He's like, I went fast. I should have won.
And Tails like, hey, can we cut this part out, man? Like, and he's like, oh no, we're not next.
Rouge and Omega yuck up their win. Payback was inevitable. Amy and Cream they're just like real chipper about it. Our effort definitely had no waste. Big has just been kind of worried that Froggy has just not been responsive to him today. Not at all. Well, the contestants have been giving it their all in this show, and screens in the background have been doing highlight reels of everything, even some games that we haven't seen them play. There's one that looks like a Super Monkey Ball kind of thing. Kind of wish we saw that, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I do as well.
The next game, Sculpt Jam, to the contestant's chagrin. You'll be making a nice sculpture, you got this big block, and Tails is encouraging Sonic, come on, You'll do it this time. You got this. And Sonic, you see Sonic fucking shaking. He's just like,
He's like, yeah, leave it to me, man. I got this shit. They go and they quickly sculpt a ice statue of Sonic and Tails high-fiving. You know, it's cute. Oh, it's simple, but deep. You know, it shows their unbreakable bond. As Sonic's legs are not strong enough to hold the sculpture, and it cracks. Oh dear! Sonic's statue becomes diamond dust, and so does his sanity, as he falls to the floor and just snaps.
Yeah, the way I put it in my notes was, with the death of his art, Sonic the Hedgehog experiences the death of his own ego.
It's peak?
Yeah, it's kind of peak. It's a little peak. With that sight, Orbot thinks, man, maybe Eggman was onto something with this reality TV thing. Meanwhile, the other teams are hard at work on their sculptures, but of course Team Big has not even started. But Big is sort of like really concerned, like, Froggy, are you okay? Is something up? As out of nowhere, Froggy uses Homelander heat vision, melts the ice into a sculpture of Eggman holding the Chaos Emerald with some very nice fine-toned legs he's been hitting the gym. Results are showing off.
Wow. Just crazy.
Everyone freaks out of this. Orbot and Cubot panic. Oh, fuck, it's sequence breaking. What do we do? Cubot says, don't worry. I got a perfect idea to this situation. Reveal. Froggy is a production plant. And we have a live reaction of the contestants and the audience.
The best one is Big, who's just like, oh... And it's him with cheese, live Big and cheese reaction.
They say Froggy escaped when they were all captured, so we had to improvise. Tails is like, wait, is this the Badnik you were gonna reveal? And Amy says, like, this is not a great reveal. What's wrong with you people? QI says, like, no, it is a reveal. Just, even if it is disappointing, that's the break in showbiz, folks. But what happens?
Omega locks on to Froggy and
annihilate charge.
Just goes to town completely. Rouge, however, snuck away while all this was going on and yoinks the Chaos Emerald. Orbot or Q, I believe it's Qbot, says, that wasn't part of the outline either. To which he says, them's the breaks in showbiz.
Upon hearing all the noise, Eggman finally shows up, screams down to the dome, hey! What's going on down here? Orbot and Cubot give up the beat, push the pressed if hecked up button. They eject the group out of Eggman's base and dumps everyone outside into the snow. But hey, Froggy was out there and Big found him right there and then. So okay, one less thing to worry about. Tails goes, okay, that was something. What about the emerald? That was spit out too. It lands right off Sonic's head. And then it's in Tails' hands. He looks at him. Well, all's well that ends well, right?
Say the line, Bart!
The city's been fucking destroyed! Yeah. Alright. Rouge says that this was a very annoying way to get an emerald. And that's saying a lot. But Amy takes in the winter scenery. It was worth it. Cream and Cheese enjoy the falling snow, but Omega can tell this snowfall is not made of organic material. So it's like, look, man, I don't care. Let's just enjoy the fucking moment, okay, please?
So they all play in the snow and have a wonderful little holiday moment. Meanwhile, Eggman back at the bake is just like, this is the culmination of all my research. This garbage. Absolute trash TV. To which he clicks a button that literally says delete literally everything, starts tearing down all of the prep work for this, as Orbot and Cubot thumbs up to end the comic. This was a good example of how you can make these one-off specials fun. Like, this was legitimately really fun, because it's funny, it's topical, it's doing some weird, like, hyper-introspective shit. Like, this was really good. I had a good time with this comic.
Oh no, this was fantastic. Ismanomar Atta, you are one of us. Great job. Great job. A lot of funny little bits, clever wordplay here and there. And honestly, the little classic throwbacks. All's well that ends well, right? Did not expect that. You awakened a lot of memories with that one. Please don't ever do that again. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a moment. Yeah, no, but I enjoyed this, and it definitely was a lot more interesting than I was hoping for. Next one-off special will be the Fang the Hunter special, which will be really cool.
Actually, that special is a mini-series, which we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that, yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, no, but I really enjoyed both of these comics today. One was, oh god, they're cooking, and the other is, oh yeah, this is good. This is fun.
Oh, yeah. Perfect example of just what it means to have a good time. Yeah, great job, great comics, and before we wrap up, I want to do, since we're at the end of the year, December 2023, I want to do a little segment where we kind of look back at the comics released in 2023 and kind of, maybe like re-examine them, see if our feelings have changed at all, given the context that we know now. Why don't we get started? IDW Sonic in 2023. January saw the end of Scrapnik Island with issue 4 and the end of the Overpowered arc in issue 56, which was, if you forget, that was the end of the epilogue of the Imposter Saga, where Surge and Kit did their, had their moment, if you will.
Imposter Saga is probably one of the best things IDW ever wrote. Overpowered is a really good follow-up to it. Some peak in that. Scrapnik Island, as a whole, fucking immaculate. One of the best miniseries they've ever done. Daniel Barnes cooked. Yeah, both of those were fantastic.
Oh yeah, they were. And it's very fitting how we start the year with Surge and we end the year with Surge. Kind of based. With the end of that miniseries and the end of that arc, we moved on from February through June was the Urban Warfare arc from issue 57 to 61. That was the Eggperial City arc. Looking back, that I think was probably the best arc of this year, mainly just due to the fact that it was the most, Sonic of it all. It felt like the standard Sonic fare that you can kind of expect when you get a comic,
Yeah, honestly, nothing really, quote-unquote, happened in the arc, but, it just kind of did. And, in terms of, what happened, yeah, it was interesting. It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we had some good Shadow moments in there. It seems like that's where they're starting to, bring stuff back together with Shadow and kind of put his character back on the right track.
Yes, agreed.
Now, July through November saw the Misadventures arc, issue 62 to 66. We talked about it before. Yeah, it's a filler arc. We understand why things are like that. Was it interesting? No. Was it, a fun read? Sure. There was some stuff that they definitely introduced that we're going to be following through moving forward. It sucks that we kind of had it in a lull. I kind of do wish that they moved the stuff with Mimic and Clutch a little further down along the line, and maybe included it as part of, what we're getting into now with issue 67. Maybe not necessarily there, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was difficult. Maybe this is the only way they could have done it in retrospect.
Yeah, there's probably some production stuff behind the scenes that forced them to do it this way.
And of course, issue 67 this month, we're back.
Yeah,
we're back.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably this is the best issue of IDW this year, aside from the stuff at the start of the year. Easily some of the best writing IDW's had in a minute. Fantastic. Loved it.
Now, 2023, as we've introduced IDW, every year they usually have a miniseries. This year, we didn't, but it was more than made up for with a lot of specials interplaced throughout the year. The first of which was the 5th anniversary re-release of issue 1 in April. That was the re-release of the first issue with a new B story, written by Ian Flynn and art by Tracy Yardley. It was very short, really nothing to write home about. It was kind of just a return to that sort of feel and vibe that it was going for. It was actually not a bad start as far as specials go for the year, honestly.
Yeah, agreed. I don't really have that much to say on it. It was okay, but not that much to talk about.
Now, August saw the release of Endless Summer. So out of the whole, festival vibes, I don't know, the special Endless Summer Winter Jam, I think, Endless Summer is, right in the midpoint of it all. It's good.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute, but, it's pretty inoffensive.
Yeah, nothing major happened, as to be expected, but, it was all right. It was all right. In September, featured both the 900th Adventure Special and Amy's 30th Anniversary Special. I don't think our feelings have changed since then, have they?
No, I still think that it felt like a really big wasted opportunity. I feel like they could have really, really, really leaned into the Bishoujo Magical Girl thing and had this be a story where Amy was at the forefront and didn't feel like she was afraid of Metal Sonic anymore. I wasn't a big fan of this for a variety of reasons, and it's really disappointing because Amy has gotten a lot of really, really awesome content.
I mean, it wasn't bad for what it is. It was fine, but unfortunately, big wasted opportunity. I feel like they really could have leaned into the more Bishoujo style of it all. And the 900th Adventure Special, same thing. big wasted opportunity. I feel like that they did see an opportunity, IDW did, and wanted to take it, but the generous and kind interpretation of it all is that they didn't have enough time to secure licensing and get legal sorted out in order to do what they actually wanted to do, and this was a backup plan, because you can obviously tell that this was, a backup plan.
900th issue, like hard mid, just big disappointment as well.
Yeah, I remember still going on that rant of what could you do for a 1000th adventure special and all that stuff. I'm not gonna repeat it for the sake of time, but look, I'm gonna just repeat this part. If you want to do something like this again for 1000 Sonic comics, get work on it now. So hopefully you can do your plan A for real this time. Get to work. And October, of course, was the Halloween special. I don't want to say it was bad, because it wasn't. It was not bad. It was just
it was
really
not bad. It was just like whatever, like very whatever. Like there's nothing really interesting here.
I think you know what? I'm going to say it, folks. It would have helped if they put Sonic in costume. They should have let him put the Werehog onesie on.
Yeah, unironically, they should have let him put the Werehog onesie on.
Cowards. And obviously, of course, this month was the Winter Jam, the strongest of the specials this year all across the board.
Yeah, agreed. Easily the strongest. Best writing, legitimately funny, really unique setup, just good stuff. I liked it.
With that being said, I think IDW Sonic had not an eventful year, but it was solid. It was solid all around.
Yeah, especially as we got towards the end of the year. Things were looking kind of rough, but 76 and the winter special really kind of tilted it in the solid favor. Because honestly, if it wasn't for these two, I would have said, yeah, this year was kind of not that great. It was okay at best, disappointing at worst.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, 67 and the Winter Jam, we're tilting it back in our favor. Definitely. Let's do our due diligence for next month's January 2024 solicits. IDW Sonic 68. When Sonic and Tails go out to test Tails' new Extreme Gear design, they run into extreme trouble. The board malfunctions at just the wrong time, plunging them down into a deep cave. What's waiting for them down there, and will it help them get out or keep them there forever? Writing and art done by Evan Stanley, out January 3rd. Everyone made the same joke when the solicit was revealed, and I'm gonna repeat it, Undertale.
Fuck!
Issue 67 was very strong. I don't think that this is gonna be following up on it, which sucks.
No,
but
it seems like it's gonna be a Sonic Tails solo story.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that maybe this can be the lead-in to Frontiers, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I know that they're gonna have to catch up to Frontiers eventually, and the time is coming up soon, I can feel it. But, Sonic and Slow Burn do not exactly mix, you know? That's not the only issue coming out that month. IDW Sonic Fang the Hunter #1. Long have legends swirled of the mysterious and fantastic power of the 8th Chaos Emerald. At least that's the rumor Fang the Hunter has heard, and he's going to track down this treasure with a little help from his gang, Bart the Polar Bear, and Bean the Dynamite. First stop, that Chaos Emerald expert himself, Sonic the Hedgehog. The first classic era Sonic miniseries from IDW, featuring the jerky Jerboa from Sonic Superstars, Fang the Hunter. A Fang 30th anniversary special event. Writing done by Ian Flynn, art by Mario Fonseca, out January 17th. This is going to be very funny, isn't it?
Potential peak incoming.
More Bean content? Yes, absolutely. Give me more of that. I want nothing but Bean, truth be told. Just give me more of that. And the fact that this is going to be surrounding the 8th Chaos Emerald, obviously, pulling back from the lore from Sonic the Fighters. Obviously, we as fans know it's all smoke and mirrors. It's a gamer moment, so it's just going to be shenanigans the whole way through. And I can't wait for that.
It'll be peak.
And also, I believe Ian said that, the solicit kind of gave it away, but this is supposed to be set explicitly before Sonic Superstars, so maybe it's going to end with some kind of lead-in of, Fang going away to the North Star Islands. 80% this is not going to happen. This is just wishful thinking on my part, but I kind of do hope that there is an epilogue which takes place, after the time skip, and we have modern designs of Team Hooligan, and they can be incorporated into the comics properly. I just want more Bean content, man, please.
Look, I need more Bean content too. Please give me peak. I need him. I need him back, bro.
That, and also, when Frontiers came out, Kishimoto did say that he is interested in reintroducing some of these classic characters into the modern games. Unironically, a great way to do it could be through the comics.
Agreed.
Take them out from the classic games and put them into the modern setting, give them a little bit of characterization in there, and then when you want to bring them into the games properly, you have something to work with.
Yeah.
I should also mention that once the Fang the Hunter miniseries starts, David Marriott, who is the editor of IDW Sonic, said on his, I think it was his Blue Sky account, that IDW Sonic, the main book, will be going on a break after issue 68. And once Fang the Hunter 4, after that's released, they're going to be moving on to issue 69.
Nice.
The reason for that, I'm very grateful that the community has finally gotten its head on straight when it comes to this, because earlier on when it started, there was like a lot of doom and gloom around like, Sonic comic dead, bad, sales bad. No, misunderstanding of a lot of different things. Thankfully, we have our heads on straight now, and we can finally understand that they're just doing course correction. Because I believe I mentioned it, maybe it was in a pre-show I mentioned it, IDW Sonic has been technically 1 month behind from its release schedule for quite a long time now. Every month, we technically have 2 issues solicited, and the one later just gets pushed on into the beginning of the month of the next following. So they're just taking the opportunity to course correct and maybe have a little bit more time to cook the stories for the next year following, and I welcome that, 100%.
Yep, as do I. I think it's a good thing. Excitement.
Speaking of excitement, though, we have something big to announce, folks, alright? It's been something a lot of you guys have been kind of asking for quite a while now. I have seen the comics, don't worry, I understand. And folks, we have listened. Next month, January, we're not going to be covering IDW Sonic 68 and Fang number 1. In fact, we won't be covering IDW for quite some time. In fact, we're not even really going to be doing the talk show either for 2024 for a bit, because you've asked, we've listened. January 2024, 2024's project, we will be reading Fleetway Sonic the comic.
New territory for both me and Alberto. What does that mean? We have a unique format that we will be employing for this. We will only be reading the issues that we will be covering that week, which means that we are going in blind.
So you can expect similar discussions of like, oh, where's this story gonna go? Oh, how are things gonna go on? What's this character's motivations? If I see any of you motherfuckers spoiling in the comments, it's on site. It's on fucking site.
It's on site, bro. You're done for. But yeah, no, this is gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be really cool. I'm excited for it. I don't really have much more to say than bring it on. Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've never read anything about Fleetway Sonic. Have you?
I know bits and pieces through videos and like one-off comments, but like no, I've never actually consumed the thing in my entirety.
Yeah, me neither. Of course, I mean, I assume we both know the stuff about like, Super Sonic being an evil separate entity, the Metallic, some like other characters that are around like Johnny, Porker, Lewis, I believe what was his name? Like Speetnik, I think is his name. Like there's a badnik that gains sentience and like becomes an ally to Sonic.
But like this is the thing, right? When we get to experience that, I think it's gonna be crazy. I think honestly the thing I'm looking forward to is how British the comic is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest. There's gonna be so many moments throughout Fleetway where just gonna be like British moment, British moment, British moment.
Yeah, if I see one beans on toast, the show is canceled. I'm telling you that up front. No, but yeah, so get excited. I'm definitely excited. It's something that, has been on the back burner, and, I can check that off the Sonic fan bucket list.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel as well. Look forward to it. It's going to be really exciting.
And of course, if you want to have that stuff when it's ready and when it's available, you go to patreon.com/SonicSpeed. Lowest $2 a month. You get that show. You get all of our content early. For the record, as I know he said we're putting a stop to our show, but we do have a bonus show that we will still be doing for our Patreons, where we'll be reacting to the Sonic TV shows. Sonic Underground. That's it. That's the sentence.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, we've been doing a drinking game as we've been watching it, which is to say we're just consuming inebriation so that we can charge through it.
That shit is so awful. Holy fuck, every time I watch it, I'm more and more blown away how they even were able to... They had no budget. What am I saying? They had Adobe After Effects, like the earliest version possible, and said, fuck it.
They had Adobe After Effects and a dream. Not a good one.
Not a good, just a dream.
Yeah, but that's on the $2 tier. $5 a month, you get that and our pre-shows, which are pretty lengthy, pretty extensive. Minimum half an hour at this point. You're definitely getting a lot more than half an hour, I'll tell you that much. $15 a month, all that, and the video version of our podcast. And hey, if you just want to check out what's behind the paywall, we do offer a free 7-day trial for all of our tiers. So again, patreon.com/SonicSpeed. We'll see you there. You know, if you're watching on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, keep in touch because you're definitely going to want to see Sonic the Comic once that comes out.
See you guys then. Get hype.
He's got his songs himself. I'll tell you who that is. That is Dr. Eggman. With his evil empire and evil plans. Eggman wants to conquer the world, but the hedgehog won't let that go. Whenever Sonic's anger explodes, his enemies will meet the fury of his aggression. And that will change anyone's perceptions without him. What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventures. His Sonic the Hedgehog. And the rose can't help to feel after him. He's a superhero, but she's his self-proclaimed girlfriend. He cannot escape her, but he will always save her. Whenever something is up, some kind of danger, and the story goes on, it's always super fun.